Hi everyone, welcome back to the stream. I'm back with Deadly Premonition 2, A Blessing in Disguise. Last night we finished episode 1 after spending way too long killing alligators. But we're on to episode 2, which is very exciting. Hopefully my flirtily side mission didn't get erased again, or I'm going to be very mad. Not sure. I think it might pick up from the beginning of the episode. Yep.
York, you can hear me, right? I'll be with you soon. I'm not sad. Honestly, I can't wait. It's all I think about lately. I mean, we'll be together again. We'll get to discuss movies, food again. Everyone around here has bad taste. They don't understand things the way we do. It's a shitty world filled with shitty people. Oh, that reminds me. There are movie theaters and restaurants over there, right? As soon as I get there, let's go grab some peanut butter hamburgers and yogurt smoothies. I'm so excited, York. Please.
That's how we get to see his fairy.
York, don't rush me. You just need to wait a bit longer. I still have one job left to do. I need to finish it. I have to. Or else I'd never be able to face you. Just give me a little more time, okay?
So, Lisa's mother, Galena Clarkson, confessed to murdering Lise. But then immediately afterwards, she went insane. So you had no choice but to detain her. What a terribly convenient story. You were the first person to find the suspect hiding at a farm on the edge of town. And you even got her to confess to the crime, right then and there. Did anyone else get a chance to hear Galena's confession?
Only us.
How did you even find that shack in the first place?
Metaphysical offender profiling.
Meta what? Should I know this word?
Metaphysical offender profiling. The term appears 6 times in the Le Carré report and 14 times in the 2010 Greenvale report. As long as you're solving cases, the people in charge don't really care what sort of words you use. But we're different. You utilized a highly abnormal method to instantly hone in on a suspect.
See, I really like how in the sequel, they're kind of explaining how his superiors and, co-workers kind of viewed him, and how it was, York's special power that really got Zach, high praise at the FBI. He was using a supernatural ability. I mean, obviously we saw it during Greenvale, but it wasn't just in the Greenvale case, it was in other cases as well.
Then you did it again and again. And every time you used it, one term kept appearing in your files: metaphysical offender profiling. Mr. Morgan, would you mind explaining to us what this term means?
No.
We could try.
I just had the meme of Bugs Bunny going, no, pop in my head.
But no matter what words we used, you'd never be able to understand. You see, it doesn't pertain to this side. Come, my fairy. Stop hiding back there and give them the explanation they so desire. What? You're too shy?
Mr. Morgan? Mr. Morgan!
Come on out. Don't be afraid. You can do it. It's okay. Come on. Go.
Is that all you have to say? Don't underestimate me, Morgan. I know you and the Clarksons share a deeper connection. Much deeper than how it appears on the surface. I need to shake him with something else that's directly connected to the Clarksons. I'm gonna jog his memory by force.
So I completely forgot to mention this, but you can use your vision ability to hone in on what will actually move the conversation along. So let's use it. So the photo of Lisa's body will be the one that triggers the conversation forward. And so won't those letters. So I'm gonna stay away from those, and I will focus on, like, oops, green bell case.
Reading over it again, I can't help but notice how well organized this report is. One might even call it perfect. Except some parts have been redacted in an extremely suspicious way. Why are all these places blotted out? Mr. Morgan, I noticed that several parts of this report have been redacted. For example, here. One individual's name has been erased from the key figure list. Would you mind telling me why?
Someone in charge must have thought it was unimportant, or maybe even inappropriate.
Why would they think that?
How should we know? We've never understood what those people do.
Well, I took the liberty of trying to restore what was taken out. Normal ink was used to blot it out, so I was able to recover part of it. Here's what it says. Sapling salesman.
Ooh, Kaysen.
All the other redacted parts seem to be connected to this person. But I can't think of a single reason why this individual would need to be removed from the report. Why is he so untouchable?
Oh, him. He's nothing. We were barking up the wrong tree.
Why the fuck you lying?
Meaning?
Can't include someone who doesn't exist in an official report, now can we?
Doesn't exist? You mean he had nothing to do with the case?
Yeah, you could say that.
Okay, I think it's just the two.
Someone stole Lisa's body and it's been missing for the past 14 years. I find it hard to believe that it was simply hidden in that cold storage warehouse the entire time. Why wasn't a more detailed investigation carried out? Mr. Morgan, according to you, at the beginning of this case, the victim's body was being stored in the warehouse on purpose. Is that the truth? They really put her body there alongside food and other perishables?
It's in the report.
No. The report only says it was stored using the most effective and shockingly inhuman method possible.
If you can think of a better phrase, we're all ears.
The report isn't wrong, you know. In fact, that might actually be the most accurate way of describing
Thank you,
it.
Simon. Always coming to Zach's defense. Love it.
It's precise, and it's also kinda poetic. You know?
I think Simon's a little fanboy.
Wow, Simon. We never would have taken you for a poet.
Right?
You two think this is a joke? Lise Clarkson's body was discovered in that cold storage warehouse after 14 long years. If you'd only done a proper investigation, we probably would have found her much sooner.
Damn.
That poor girl.
We still regret the fact that we never got to meet her. We're sorry from the bottoms of our hearts.
I only hope it didn't happen that way by design.
Will you comfort me? Thank you, my fairy.
A stack of old letters. These must be the letters that he mentioned in the report. That dragonfly mark proves it. Those letters look very old. The postmark suggests they were sent out from Louisiana. And I suspect that dragonfly mark belongs to the Clarkson family.
Maybe. So what if it does?
A stalker has been harassing Patricia Clarkson for several years now. Did you know about this? Constant silent phone calls, unmarked letters.
I guess she thinks Zach is stalking Patricia?
She also spotted a suspicious figure lurking near her mansion several times. And just last week, her employees spotted a strange figure lurking in the vicinity. The day someone else coincidentally used your alias and traveled to Louisiana.
That's very intriguing. Aligned symbolism.
Lise Clarkson also reported being harassed by a stalker just before she was murdered. You're aware of this, correct? Because I didn't find any mention of this in your report.
No direct connection to the case. That's what we must have thought.
The visionary lies to himself, the liar only to others. Which are you?
That's enough for now. This all has nothing to do with the case. Besides, there's no evidence that proves those letters are from her. Isn't that right, my fairy?
I knew it wouldn't go that easily. Maybe I should try asking my questions in a different way. I could use Agent Jones here.
Okay, so...
That's the window that faces the street out front. I can tell just from the layout of his furniture. Now I'm surrounded by everything I couldn't see out there. This is a nice building. Layout isn't bad either. Whew. Must be rather expensive to rent a place like this in Boston. How many other rooms are there in this apartment? That room over there, your bedroom?
Huh. Why so curious, Belle? It almost sounds as if you're seeing this place for the first time. Aside from the hardware shop on the first floor, every apartment in this building has the exact same layout. We're well aware that you studied the layout of this apartment before you came to see us. There's no need to act so roundabout. Just be honest. Say it. I want to see your bedroom.
Well then?
Doesn't mean we'll let you see it, though.
Films teach us all we need to know? That's ridiculous. I'd rather read a book than watch a stupid movie.
It's bugging you, isn't it, Aaliyah?
Huh? What?
I get it. It's bugging me too. It's even got my heart racing a little. I mean, look at this. Nothing but DVDs. Not a single Blu-ray in sight, just pure, unadulterated DVDs.
I don't think that was her issue.
And he's got VHS tapes, too.
Spaceballs.
I don't even have a VHS player in my house anymore.
This looks like a combo. It looks like DVD and VHS.
Whoa, look at this. Check it out. This one's got a lot of pizza in it, remember?
Pizza the Hut. I do remember.
You're not wrong, Simon. There's a very large quantity of pizza in that film. 1987, directed by Mel Brooks. The version on that tape is the one we recorded back when you could catch it on cable TV.
Oh, seriously? Damn, Morgan, that's incredible. You're really living the dream, man.
But it's probably really bad quality, Simon. I'm sure whatever Blu-ray and or DVD you own is probably better than some old VHS tape from the 90s. Oh, you're so weird. Yes.
I hope you both haven't forgotten that this conversation is also being
they
recorded.
don't care. Let the world know their love for Spaceballs. It's a good film. Okay, I think that's it.
Agent Jones is completely checked out. Despite the fact that we're heading deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole here.
By the way? Is it Rovo 666? Riavo? I'm so bad at pronouncing names. Alright. Let's talk to Simon. What's your problem, dude?
Agent Jones. Are you paying attention? Or do you intend to waste Mr. Morgan's precious time?
No. Sorry. I'm just a little tired. I'm listening.
Take your hand out of your pocket. Didn't they teach you any manners at Quantico?
Damn, she's like really testy today.
Oh, right. Guess they slipped my mind. My bad. I'm actually kinda nervous. I'm not used to this sort of thing.
I can tell. Rivo. Okay, Rivo. Okay, cool. I was gonna say, is it like Ray? Okay, so Rye. Cool. Not used to this sort of thing.
Data analysis is my specialty, you know. I'm sure I'd be able to calm down a bit if I had some pizza, though.
Dude. Time and place. This is not the time or the place to have pizza. Maybe that was a joke.
The FBI needs to do something about their lack of personnel. I'll have to ask the questions myself. But how should I start? Maybe I should look back over the files and calmly reassess the situation.
Okay. It's just the two.
An elegant antique lighting fixture. And most of his other furniture is of the same quality. Why is his room such a mess, then? This is why, instead of calling him a dangerous person, they've labeled him a high-functioning sociopath.
Just like Sherlock Holmes. Or at least the Sherlock from the Sherlock show. Isn't that what he calls himself all the time?
Just the usual around here, no need to worry.
The usual?
Yes. A strange person lives upstairs. Every now and then, he makes noise.
Oh my god, is it supposed to be David Young Henning? Oh, I think I missed observing the light in my first playthrough. Oh my god. I bet you that's supposed to be David.
What's strange about him?
Several years ago,
oh my god!
a woman was murdered upstairs.
I totally missed this my first time through. Oh wow, we do have a D4 reference. Oh, this is so cool. Sorry, I'm getting all excited.
Her husband still lives there.
Yikes.
He's ex-BPD, and apparently he's still searching for the killer.
No. Oh, he's still looking. Oh, that makes me sad.
But it seems like they cut all support for the investigation due to decreased funding.
Oh no.
The team on the case wanted to keep working on it, but the suits wouldn't hear of it. A tale as old as time.
Oh, poor David.
Due to his situation, perhaps, he's been making a lot more noise recently. Like you just heard.
You never noticed anything, Agent Jones.
Well, I did hear some loud noises every now and then.
I'm kind of curious because usually he would land back in his bathtub. Is that what they're supposed to be hearing?
But I didn't think they were real noises coming from upstairs. I mean, look at him. It's not like he's reacting to the noise. He always just went about his business as usual for all the years I've watched him. So I just figured it was coming from the TV.
That makes sense.
You really amaze me sometimes.
Oh, you're right. It could have been Amanda. I've totally forgot about Amanda. Oh my god, I can't believe I missed that. I was thinking like, wow, they never really mentioned D4. I was expecting them to, and it's apparently because I totally missed observing that ceiling fixture. Oh my god. Well, that's nice of Swery to kind of put it out there that David Younghenning's still looking for the killer, though it makes me very, very sad.
So far, everything checks out with the report. But there were always some parts of the report that didn't make sense. He expects me to believe he just happened to solve a case this difficult while he was on vacation?
He's just that good.
And metaphysical offender profiling? I won't let him distract me with his fancy made-up words. After you arrested Galena Clarkson, you had a run-in with the Clarksons.
I wonder if I could read. No, I can't. It's too blurry.
At least that's what it says in the report. What exactly happened there?
Just a simple run-in, that's all. Nothing but a single phenomenon. Chasing hollow instances like that won't lead you closer to the truth. Truth doesn't work like that.
A hollow phenomenon, which resulted in a mountain of corpses.
Yeah, and Zach is doing a lot of dark laughter during this game.
Oh, Belle. We think we finally understand what you're trying to say. But don't be so voracious. How about another cup of coffee? We've still got a long way to go, you know.
Maybe someone could make it for you. It doesn't sound too good. Oh.
Yes. It's coarsely ground, so there should only be 4 teaspoons per cup.
Meanwhile, at my place, here, let me just pop a Keurig. You can get a cup of coffee. My sister does, like freshly ground espresso and stuff like that. York and Zach would be very disappointed in me. For sure.
No more, no less. Next, the coffee travels from the funnel to the siphon. Simon, normally you only do surveillance in order to gather data, correct? hiding microphones and cameras, sifting through garbage, wiretapping, shadowing, tracing credit card histories. You'll do whatever it takes to gather data in order to prevent crimes. That's how the FBI works.
Well, yeah, you're right. No reason in hiding it now, I guess. Why do you ask?
Our Southern Belle has adopted a very peculiar MO. It's almost like she has a special power, just like us. You've been watching us this entire time, haven't you, Belle? From that window.
Across the way? Oh, damn.
I don't need to answer that question.
You came here on New Year's Eve, then spent 49 hours watching us until you returned to your hotel room last night. You observed us the entire time without sleep or rest. And you only ate once, some pizza delivered by Simon. Aside from that, you never drank any water or relieved yourself. You simply sat there and continued to watch us.
Is that even possible?
You have visions, too, don't you? You came here solely to hear us talk, didn't you? But then, why bother watching us for over 2 days beforehand? You didn't come to talk with us. You came because you wanted to see this apartment with your own eyes. And because you're already convinced of something. Isn't that right? He who fights with monsters should see to it that he himself does not become a monster. And if you gaze long into an abyss, the abyss also gazes into you.
But
Oh. Coffee. Thank you, my fairy. If you hadn't been paying attention, this coffee would have all gone to waste. The pus in our brains. It really has a way of interfering with our lives. Didn't remember when she came along. Don't.
Oh. What the Christ? This is friggin' delicious. I thought I was gonna shit myself for a second there.
Oh my god, I've never... That's such a weird reaction. It's so good you wanted to shit yourself. Okay, serve it.
Come on, Aaliyah, take a sip. Trust me. I'm not exaggerating here.
Why don't you put like laxatives or something in it?
I don't believe it. It's better than any coffee I've ever tasted.
Well, you know, Zach and York take their coffee very seriously, so I'm not surprised.
Of course it is. Coffee saved us. If not for its oracle, we would be on the other side right now.
FK in the coffee.
So I never forget to pay my respects to coffee. Especially at critical moments like this.
Big black cumulonimbus clouds are in the sky.
Uh-oh, Simon, take your hands out of your pockets. Leah's gonna yell at you again.
And that sound. Thunder snow is coming.
Okay, Oh, oops, I forgot to inspect him. Sorry.
Come on, don't glare at me like that, Aaliyah. I told you I'm out of my element here, remember?
This isn't the time or the place.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm just really nervous. I mean, Morgan's a legend.
He is a fanboy. I knew it. Yeah, there is a lot of swears in the game. That's part of why the rating, he got a higher rating apparently, was the foul language. We got several F-bombs in here.
And now he's right in front of us and things are all tense. I'm sure it'd give any normal agent a stomachache.
Incidentally, Simon, why did you decide to stop working out in the field?
Don't ask. It's a long story.
I don't mind. We have lots of time, don't we? I could even make you another cup of coffee, if you like.
Fine then. I'll try to make it brief. See, I used to work out in the field. Even had my own partner. But we had a little rivalry that sorta ruined our relationship. It was over a woman, of course. You know how it goes. We fell in love with the same girl. At the same workplace, too. Then one day, the three of us went to go do a stakeout at a restaurant over in East Boston. I pretended to be a customer while my partner waited in the car, and she waited in the building across the way. Well, it only took a few minutes for my partner and I to lose our heads. We started engaging in this dumb contest to see who could impress her more.
Isn't this a movie with Chris Pine and Tom Hardy fighting over like a Reese Witherspoon?
Things were looking bad. I knew I was gonna lose.
They were like spies, and she was just a normal person, so I guess not. I guess it's like a common trope.
Then, something happened. Right in front of me, a customer starts choking on something. Face was pale, froth at the mouth, the whole 9 yards. I got up at once, but my partner stopped me. Didn't want us to blow our cover. So what did I do? I ignored him and helped the guy anyway. I couldn't stand by and watch that. I couldn't help myself. Next thing I knew, I was a hero. The guy survived, the restaurant thanked me, and I'd even managed to win the heart of you-know-who. It felt pretty good, you know, one-upping my partner right in front of his very eyes. But that was the beginning of the end. A few days later, she and I went to go get some bubble tea at a cafe in Brookline. And a man comes up to me and said,
I'm here to thank you on behalf of the person you saved in that restaurant.
Feeling a bit cocky, I said, all in a day's work, my good man, and tried to brush him away. But he held out an envelope to me and said,
My client broke 3 ribs thanks to the unnecessary Heimlich maneuver you administered to him. He wants you to ensure that he'll be able to get the proper treatment.
I thought I'd saved someone. But all I ended up doing is wasting a lot of my precious time wrapped up in an astronomically stupid court case. It also blew our cover, so our target found out about us. In the end, I was taken out of the field and banished to a meaningless job that anyone with half a brain could do. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean it like that. Anyway, well, that's what happened. Of course, I also lost the love of my life and went back to being a lonesome loser. And that's why I hate being out in the field. Oh, come on! I tell you all that and you're not even gonna say anything?
Sucks to be you? No, that does suck. Wow. You know, I've heard of shit like that. Wasn't that also the plot of The Incredibles? Too? Saving someone who tried to jump out of a building and they broke some bones or something?
That was long, Simon.
Hey, I warned you! I told you it'd be long! Oh.
Hey, Simon. It's okay. Okay, so it's still outside. That's the...
Looks like Agent Jones is actually mad about something for once. But he got what he deserved. I mean, showing off during an investigation? Competing with another FBI agent? I'm surprised he was only transferred. Agent Jones, I'm sorry for not responding to your story. It was just so bizarre. I wasn't sure what to say.
Sorry that the greatest trauma of my life ended up being too bizarre for you.
Well, what do you expect? All you ever talk about is pizza or hitting on women? Honestly, it offended me. I felt like I was listening to a teenage boy tell some misogynistic conquest story.
Whoa, Aaliyah, hold on a minute here. Despite how I may seem to you, I am actually pretty popular with the ladies. And you know that coworker of mine? She's the one who came on to me. Besides, I only told that story because a certain someone asked me to. It's what happens when you're a popular guy.
God, this is going places I didn't expect. Okay, Simon.
Is this all some big joke to you? I'm really losing my patience here.
You simply have yet to awaken to my masculine charm. Maybe you should try getting some more experience under your belt.
What?
Agent Jones, are you trying to get me to sue you for sexual harassment?
Yeah, the little milk cube around the sacred space is distracting, I admit.
He's digging his own grave. Isn't he, my fairy?
Aw, come on, Morgan, not you too. I'm sure a guy like you can tell why women might find me attractive.
What's that supposed to mean?
I just mean, you know, imagine it for a minute. A woman who you wouldn't necessarily call beautiful, yet still possesses some unique charm. You see women every now and then who you wouldn't mind spending a night or two with, right? And I'm like the male version of that.
What? Dude, just stop.
Come on, you know what I mean. Some women just prefer a man who's a little below the norm.
Oh my god, okay. If you say so, Simon.
And they're usually with a different guy each time you see them. From straight-laced businessmen to gold chains and fake tans. They prefer buffet style, you know? Anyway, my point is, we've all got this special kind of sex appeal.
Leah's gonna probably punch you if you don't shut up.
I couldn't even keep track of all the sexist remarks you made just now.
Hey, just cool it for a sec, would you? We're having a guy conversation here.
See your way out. No, just kidding. Wow, Simon.
This is all just strategy I'm using to try and loosen Morgan up. Trust me.
You know we could probably hear you whispering.
If he actually had a hand in this, it would explain why Lisa's body was left frozen for all that time. The body wasn't stolen. It wasn't that he couldn't find it. He just left it there. It's definitely a possibility. Why would an agent as skilled as you close the Lise Clarkson case without locating her body?
Good question. Maybe we just weren't as skilled as you think back then. Isn't that right, my fairy?
You reported the body as being stolen. Was that truly the case?
Meaning?
Meaning there's a possibility that the body wasn't stolen, but purposefully moved instead. Maybe someone ordered someone else to get rid of the body, or even store it in a specific place.
But who? And for what purpose?
In order to use the body for something else. You never considered that? Perhaps there's some connection between the frozen body and the fact that Sang Rouge is still being produced.
Hey, Aaliyah, how about explaining yourself clearly so that even I can follow along?
Someone extracted the ingredients to Sang Rouge from Lise Clarkson's body. That's what you're trying to say, isn't it, Belle?
So that they could go on producing the inimitable drug without Professor R.
What?
Drug addiction destroys people physically and mentally. It makes them capable of doing anything just so they can get their hands on a fix. Abusing a corpse? That's nothing to an addict. And with your dependency, I suspect you might know just what that's like.
He's smoking marijuana for medicinal purposes. I don't think he's addicted to it.
Maybe we do. If you threaten to take this away from us, I might have to kill you both right here. And steal all your $100 bills. Oh, spine-tingling, scary stuff, isn't it, my fairy?
Yeah, I know. It's like, he's not using heroin.
You sure got a twisted sense of humor there, Morgan.
Now that's what we call edgy.
Ominous. It's almost like a manifestation of the atmosphere in this room right now. You hear that thunder? It's probably gonna snow soon.
We're in Massachusetts. That's the norm for this time of year.
Well, I'm not used to the cold. If possible, I'd like to finish this up before we get stuck in a snowstorm. Agent Jones, after we're done here, Agent Jones, is something the matter? Snap out of it.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I know.
Do you? Then stop daydreaming.
Okay.
You just what?
My stomach's been letting some thunder loose, too.
Thunder?
That coffee was just so good.
Oh, it literally makes him want to shit right now. Holy moly.
It what? We don't have all day here.
The coffee was just so good, it, summoned forth a massive tsunami from within me.
Excuse me?
He has to go take a shit. Leah.
What is wrong with you? Now is really not the time for this.
Right door at the end of the hallway.
Thanks, pal. Hold on. You can make it. We can do this. It's not very far.
Man, this game's going places.
We promise you, we did not put laxatives in the coffee. Coffee is a sacred drink, remember?
Oh my god. There we go, another F-bomb.
There's no doubt that the report omitted information linking Morgan to the Clarksons. I need to get him to confess. Oh yeah. That reminds me. There's a secret weapon in Agent Jones's briefcase.
Oh? What? Okay, so going to assume the briefcase will move it forward, but yep.
He's chain smoking it nonstop. He's clearly dependent on it. Which means he might be dependent on other drugs as well. Mr. Morgan, I heard that you were always a smoker. Did you ever wonder if that was the reason you contracted your illness?
He has a brain tumor, right?
What does that have to do with this case?
Nothing. I'm just personally curious about it.
Sometimes, people die in car accidents, regardless of how well they take care of their health. Other times, they slip on their bathroom floors and crack open their heads. Isn't that right, my fairy?
I'm not concerned with statistics. I'm just curious about you, right here, right now.
We switched over from nicotine to this. It's less addictive. That's one step in the right direction, isn't it?
Perhaps, if we're talking about withdrawal symptoms or physical dependencies. But it still seems like you're smoking too much at once. Honestly, it looks to me like you have a mental dependency.
Did you forget that he's dying of cancer?
Maybe. But so what if we do?
Surely you know about gateway drugs, yes?
Reefer madness.
When a person starts to use one drug, it becomes much easier for them to branch out and try other drugs as well. The first drug acts as the gateway that leads them to stronger substances.
Oh, are you trying to say that's going to happen to us?
No. I'm simply saying there's a possibility. Agent Jones probably won't be back for a while. Actually, now might be my opportunity to make some real progress. Have you ever seen this before? And please, don't say no.
Sang Rouge. The drug we once chased. What about it?
Sang Rouge is still circulating. It's changed shape and its composition is slightly different now, but it's still very much alive. But only in a very limited part of Louisiana. You aren't surprised? Did you somehow know this would happen?
Copies of another drug being circulated isn't exactly a rare case.
But Sang Rouge is special. The inimitable Enigma powder, the origin. It has many names, and no one was ever able to copy it. We've also been trying to figure out what it's made from ever since it appeared. But it's impossible to analyze. After all, it appears to be made from common ingredients that can be found anywhere. But if you try to use those ingredients, all you'll end up with is a mundane hallucinogen like DMT. If you're lucky. No. Sang Rouge requires a special recipe. The original recipe, which someone's been guarding this entire time. Someone who survived the incident in Le Carré. He read these over and over again, like a prisoner rereading letters from his loved ones. But the last letter was delivered years ago, according to this postmark. That must be the last time he communicated with whoever was sending these. Yet, he left them out in plain sight all this time. Immediately after they found Lisa's body, I went to go see Patricia. In order to interrogate her, of course.
So you told us.
But I was unable to meet with her.
She refused to speak with you, didn't she? That's so like her.
No, she didn't get the chance to. You see, she's gone missing.
What?
To put it more accurately, no one's seen her since the afternoon of the 28th. According to her employees, she shut herself up in her room for several months before she disappeared. But since that sort of thing happened often, they didn't think anything of it. On the morning of New Year's Eve, they noticed her window was open, and when they went up to check on her, she was gone. But no one knows how long her window had been open for. This is just my hypothesis, but on December 28th, a strange man visited Le Carré and was spotted near her mansion. That man must have found some way to lure Patricia into his car. The '89 Cadillac that he bought used. Then, the two of them drove north to Trenton, where they boarded a train to Boston. They would have arrived here around midnight on the 29th, or perhaps early morning on the 30th. I believe this man is the same Billy Bishop whose name was previously recorded by the airline. So, what do you think of my guess? I'd love to hear your opinion as a former FBI special agent.
Now we get it. We aren't persons of interest. We're the suspects. But what about our alibi?
What alibi?
I've had enough of your bullshit. You expect me to believe you haven't taken a single step out of this room? That Agent Jones is your witness? Surveillance cameras can easily be tampered with, especially by someone like you, who knows all about how the FBI works.
You're possessed by death. Go and take a look at your own face in the mirror. You look like the Grim
damn.
Reaper.
Low blow.
After you visited both Le Carré and Greenvale, you left a mountain of corpses in your wake. You can make all the excuses you want. I'm immune to them. Right here, right now, I want to know everything. You tell me the truth.
Yes! You're good, Belle. Damn good. You're brimming with potential. Don't you think she's the perfect partner for our last dance? What do you say, my fairy? Don't you agree? She's good. So good. What do you want to know? We've got nothing to hide. Go on. Question us. This is how it's got to be. Doesn't this remind you of something? You know what I mean, my fairy.
That got creepy.
Son of a... How did this happen in my town? God damn it!
The head and limbs were severed and lined up, according to the lines that were drawn with her blood. Just like migratory birds flying systematically across the sky. Hey, Zach, what do you think this means?
Holy shit.
They're severed roots.
Why is Patricia there?
Severed roots?
This is the way the Clarksons kill someone when they want to cut him off from the family.
And how do you know about this?
Everyone in town knows about it. They're just too scared to talk.
What does the V stand for, then?
Beats me. What, you think I know everything now?
Vilitatio. It means quarrel in Latin. That's what the V stands for.
Latin. Intriguing, isn't it, Zach? There are no defense wounds on the corpse. In other words, Galena showed no signs of resistance when she was amputated. But, strangely enough, there are small traces of subcutaneous bleeding around the wounded areas. That's a vital reaction, which means she couldn't have been dead.
You mean...
Yes, that's right, Patty. Galena was amputated while she was still alive,
Oh,
and
just
she
like her
never
daughter.
resisted.
Is that even possible?
It certainly isn't impossible. For example, if she was put to sleep with a drug, or if she desired the amputation herself.
Why would she ever desire that?
Mr. York, I'm sorry, but there ain't no way that could have happened.
How can you be sure of that, Melvin? Our world contains phenomena that could never be explained with logic. This is especially true for phenomena in which humans are involved. Do you really think all the facets of love and hate can be explained with logic?
Well, no, I don't reckon I do. Yeah, might be too early to rule out those possibilities, just like you say.
Zach, now we truly know just how deeply the Clarksons are involved with this. Patty, how long does it take to reach the Clarkson estate?
Just a short drive. You just gotta head west along the Mississippi. You can't miss it.
Got it. Thank you, Patty. By the way, Melvin, no matter how accelerated Patty may be, don't you think she's still a bit too young to see something like this? For the record, I have no intent to instruct others on how to raise their children, but...
Holy moly, you're right! Patricia, CLG! Come on, sweetie. Kids shouldn't have to see stuff like this.
Daddy, it's too late now.
You sure you okay, CLG?
I'm fine. Besides, I'm used to seeing stuff like that on CSI. You're the one who looks pale, Daddy.
Well, it did shake me up a little, but I'll be back to normal in no time. Sorry about that, Mr. York. What say we rest in the interrogation room till we all calm down, CLG?
Sure thing, Daddy. I'm gonna go sit with Daddy for a bit, Agent York. We can join back up later.
Galena killed her daughter, so her family cut ties with her. Do you really think that's what happened here, Zach? If this is truly the ritual that the Clarksons use to cut ties with someone, why would they go out of their way to do it here, in a holding cell? They could have easily done it after we released her. And judging from how Danny Clarkson was acting, I think it's clear that he really loved Galena. How could he accept this grotesque butchering, even if it was for the sake of the family? There's no point in ruminating on this. We should get back to the investigation. As long as we keep moving, the answer will inevitably fling itself straight at us.
You found the flying serpent. But now, the flying serpent will come to find you.
Yeah, that sounds right. And it looks like this flying serpent is a venomous one.
Some become feasts, while others are eaten alive. Which fate would you prefer?
Both sound marvelous, but let me check with Zach.
A fine answer. Find the one who fired the pistol at heaven. Within the white hall of beds, brandish the ticket to the goddess. And once again, you will see the other world. Do you comprehend the oracle?
Zach, it looks like he's hell-bent on leading us back into that other world.
Follow the oracle.
Oh, I will, Hoongan. There are only two types of things in our world: things that should be resisted and things that should be accepted. And I believe this oracle is something to accept. Do you think we're crazy for believing everything that skeletal gentleman says? No, we're not crazy. Not one bit. This is our destiny, that's all. But I shouldn't need to explain that to you, Zach. The one who fired the pistol at heaven. Firing pistols at the sky might be a rather common occurrence for the South. Remember? Young Guns, 1988, directed by Christopher Kane. There's that great scene where Emilio Estevez keeps firing his Colt M1877 up at the sky. Oh, but that film took place in New Mexico, didn't it? And the Oracle probably isn't referring to a situation like that. It's got to be for some purpose other than an attack or a threat. Raising a pistol up to the sky, then slowly pulling the trigger, kind of sounds like the start to a race. Don't you agree, Zach?
What is that building? Oh, bank.
Bingo, Zach. We're currently running a race here. And the one who started this murder investigation is indeed the one who fired the pistol at heaven. In other words, the person who first discovered the body. According to the files, Lisa's body was discovered by Chuck Thompson, a crawfish farmer. He apparently works out of a fishing hut located in the marshes south of the bayou. Let's go pay him a visit. Who knows? We might even get to see some crawfish. What? Why isn't the murderer the one who started this race? Zach, this isn't like you. Of course the murderer isn't the one who started the race. The murderer's running it. They're currently in first place, and they're breaking all the rules. Any more objections, Zach? Within the White Hall of Beds. This one is even easier. There are only a few establishments that have a whole hall's worth of beds. Especially in a small town like this. I'm sure you've already got a pretty good idea about what the answer is, Zach. Beds all lined up. Only an amateur would hear that and think it must be referring to a brothel. I mean, come on. Who would ever use White Hall as a symbol for a bordello? No, a white house refers to the same place no matter what country you're in. Disinfectant, jars of medicine, and white smocks. That's right. It's a place where people dress in all white, and this town doesn't have any labs in it, which means there can only be one answer.
Oh, you never got anything else? Okay.
You never disappoint me, Zach. It's a medical facility. They invite their patients into rooms full of beds where they're tended to by doctors and nurses clad in white. It's definitely a white hall where people are invited into beds. You always manage to impress me with your intuition. I'm really counting on you here, Zach, and I know I'll always be able to.
Agent York, you're trying to leave without your trustworthy assistant?
Hello there, Patty. I'd never attempt such a thing. I was simply engaging in a battle of wits with Hoongan while I waited for you.
Hoongan?
Yes, the skeletal gentleman in the top hat.
Not that story again. Is this how you always conduct your investigations?
This is the way I work.
I bet you can't find a single partner, not even in the entire FBI.
That's not true. I always work together with Zach.
Oh, right. Zach. Don't worry. I'll be your partner while you're here in our town. Now, let's go investigate.
Okay, my heart, I was really worried about these photos, but they're still in clear. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. Can I talk to Melvin to complete my side mission? I guess not. Okay. I kind of like how as we go further and further through this story, the load screen gets more and more color.
Agent York, it's getting kind of late. You shouldn't be dragging a kid around at this time of night, you know.
If you say so, I'll walk you home then.
No thanks. I can walk home on my own. Stop treating me like a kid. They say red shadows wander around here at night.
Oh
So
shit!
be careful.
Because I ended the thing too late, we're not getting that cutscene. That's weird. Okay.
Red shadows?
Yeah. Red shadows come out and attack folks who walk around in the dark.
Why do they attack them?
So they can drag them over to the other side. I guess it's kind of like a town legend that's been passed down over the years.
And you believe it?
I don't know. Maybe it's just a story someone made up so that kids would go to sleep at night. But I reckon there must be some other reason why those stories always get passed down. So I think it's important to keep them alive.
Okay. I'll be careful. Zach, did you hear that? Red shadows. Sounds like a must-see to me.
Oh, we still get the cutscene. Okay. We got little 2 cutscenes.
Ugh!
How's your mama? So, you're that hotshot FBI agent I keep hearing about.
And who might you be?
I came to claim the body of my daughter. My daughter, who was murdered in a holding cell after you detained her yesterday.
Zach, I wasn't expecting to run into the final boss this early. You must be the head of the Clarkson family, P.J. Clarkson. And you've come to claim the body of Galena Clarkson, whose dismembered corpse was found early this morning. Is that correct? Where did you learn that Galena had been murdered? Zach and I just learned of the news ourselves.
This is Luke Corey, and I am P.J. Clarkson. There ain't a single thing I don't know about this town.
I see. So then you must also know about the Severed Roots ritual. I have a question for you, Philip. We suspect that Galena was murdered by someone from the Clarkson family. Have you given that possibility any consideration?
Listen up, you FBI piece of shit. You better watch your manners around my pa.
Shut up, Daniel.
But, sir... My bad, sir.
I'll have you know I once had 3 children. But I must not have raised them very well, because my son and my eldest daughter both ran away and never came back to me. The only one who stayed by my side was my second daughter, Galena. Then she done married Daniel here into the family and presented me with both an heir and a granddaughter. Seemed for a while as if things were finally starting to calm down. But then, someone corrupted both Galena and Lise. And I lost everything. Well, aside from my shit-heel son-in-law, that is. You understand me, FBI?
Galena's death is nothing but a loss for the Clarkson family.
That doesn't mean the Clarksons are automatically innocent, though. Humans don't always act out of self-interest, do they?
That mouth. You're starting to sound more and more like your mother. We're leaving, Daniel.
What? But my treasure...
Now, whether you end up being an angel or a demon, I reckon you're the man I've been waiting for all this time. Once you finish that autopsy and we're clear to take her home, I want you to give me a call.
They're phenomenal, Patty. So perfectly rural. Ominous statements, foul-mouthed insults. This town possesses a complicated system of communication that you just can't find in the city. Work-centric emails are so cold and lifeless. This is what true human connections feel like. Connections as visceral as blood itself.
So, Agent York, what's next on your agenda?
The last boss may have gotten the jump on us, Patty, but I didn't let him shake my resolve. I intend to obey the skeletal gentleman's oracles, and that's that. First, we should head to either the home of the person who discovered Lisa's body or to the town's medical facility. Well, Zach, what do you think?
Okay. Still cleared. Well, I'm gonna go back to the bar. And I'll smoke and get the drink for Thursday. And then go to bed. Oh, the sale sign? It's, if you're sunburned, you get some sort of discount at the, Melvin's little mobile store and at Alexa's, diner. But I haven't gotten sunburned yet. I don't know how long I have to wait after using the tanning lotion, but I haven't gotten it yet. So I'm gonna try when I get up early to put on some more and see if I can get sunburned. Hi, guys. Hey. Hey, I saw you. I saw you at the murder scene. Why can't I talk to the person? Hello? Oh, whoa! I did not need to see his junk. Hello? Why can't I talk to you? Thanks, Xavier.
Well, Bureau man, you ever catch them crooks? Sometimes folks feel like drinking. Yeah. You'll be back, yeah, remember. Well, Bureau.
King of cocktails. Okay. James Bond? Yep.
Well, Bureau man. Sometimes, yeah. You'll be back, yeah, remember.
Okay. So, what do I have in progress? I have drinks. Holy Emblem, which I can't get until after I talk to Chuck. Oh, I could do, shit, I should have talked to Avery before I... Oh well. I could have done his side mission. Ooh, let's do it tomorrow night. Whoa. Oh, you did? What happened? You know what's funny? If... Whoa. With frame rate. Is that when you go in here and let's say you want to go to a hotspot, and you order it, it will do the cutscene outside, and will, Raven's talking to York. York will just get attacked by monsters. Oh no! Was it the one by the bridge? That kind of happened to me when I was doing a quest for Danny, but I fell through the map and I was just in a black area. The flavor text? Oh, I don't know. It looks like it's just patterns. Hold on. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be any. I'd be interested to see it. Oh, there's no observations in this game, unfortunately. So all I can do is just look at it like this.
Sure is some sun out there, ain't it, boss?
How's the investigation coming? Must be going well if you're on the case.
Oh yeah, that's where you put your charms and stuff. Speaking of which, I should probably try to go make some more charms. Upgrade my range and expand my gun capabilities. What was that noise? Did it think enemy was still here? Okay. Let's complete Melvin's side mission.
Were you thinking about Galena too? And all the other women we've seen so far on our travels across the
Look at you
states?
later, dude.
Is that...
You'll say it like 5 million more times.
What's the buzz, Mr. FBI Special Agent? What's the buzz, Mr.
No, he's probably at work already. I don't think the side mission for Avery can happen until after he's off work. I'll check the map to see where he is. I think he starts work early, though. Yeah, he's inside the building. Okay. Oh. I guess let's go down to Thompson's farm.
If this town has a symbol, it's got to be that bridge hanging over the bayou. Lift bridges are truly a rarity. Reminds me of Duluth, Minnesota. Remember what happened there? That man went to such great lengths to collect his victims' tongues. You know, the one who would French kiss them every day as they slowly decomposed. As I drove him to the station after his arrest, he started lecturing me on the...
Just trying to turn.
Hey, want to talk about bridges? Why? I've become obsessed with bridges, Zach, and there's no turning back now. Remember what we saw on our way here? Back when we were driving that hybrid car before we switched over to the skateboard. We passed over the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway, the longest bridge over water in the entire world. Remember the sudden downpour that made it impossible for us to see the road? The rain was so torrential that we couldn't see more than a few miles ahead of us. I'm sure local drivers are used to that sort of thing. They were all going normal speeds. I'll bet that scene reminded you of a certain film, or perhaps a certain person. Violent City, 1970, directed by Sergio Solima. I only ever saw it on TV when I was a kid, so I don't remember it very well. But I definitely remember that it featured a bridge, a long bridge, during the New Orleans part. That's the one thing I remember. That bridge must have been the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway. And the film starred Charles Bronson. Charles Bronson. What an amazing sound. You couldn't possibly find another man whose name matches his appearance so perfectly. Yes, of course I know that Charles Bronson isn't his real name. Charles Dennis Buczynski. That's his real name, but he's Bronson. Period. Zach, what's your favorite Bronson film? Death Wish? The Magnificent Seven? Rider on the Rain? Or Farewell Friend? They're all masterpieces, but to me, his greatest work lies elsewhere. That's it, Zach. No wonder we get along so well. I don't care what anyone else says. His greatest film by far is 10 to Midnight, 1983, directed by J. Lee Thompson. There's no realism to be found in this movie, but that's what makes it so great. One might even call it a fantasy masterpiece. It was certainly filled with unprecedented fantasy compared to other police thrillers, that's for sure. You know, Zach, I'm suddenly getting the urge to watch it again. Let's hurry up and solve this case so that we can go rent the DVD. This town sure is peaceful, Zach. Yes, I know. I know what you're about to say. Okay, Zach. It's time to put our skills to the test.
Oh no. Skateboard broke.
Well, Zach, it seems as if we've reached an impasse. I'm afraid we won't be able to proceed any further like this.
Lucari Tiger to DC Eagle? Is everything alright?
Hello, Melvin. Sadly, my darling just gave out on me.
Your darling? You mean...
Yes, that's right. My beloved skateboard. I know the chances are slim, but do you happen to know of any establishments in town that can repair skateboards? Please, I hope this doesn't offend you. Neither Zach nor I would ever dare to assume that a remote country town like this would have a skateboard shop in it. But perhaps you have at least one eccentric who likes to tinker with them in their spare time.
I know just the person. Double bass player by night, trick master by day. God blessed her with 2 talents, and her name is Emma Sanders.
Emma?
That's right. She's Pastor Sanders' adopted daughter, and was also Lise Clarkson's best friend. Emma really knows her stuff. She's got tools and a mountain of parts, so I'm sure she'll be able to help.
I owe you one, Melvin. Zach, I never thought we'd find our very own skateboard mentor out here in the sticks. Let's head straight to Emma. What is it, Zach? Why didn't I just ask the sheriff to tow away the old cars? But isn't it obvious? I want to overcome this obstacle using my own strength. In fact, I want to soar over it.
I guess the Swamp Tours doesn't get a lot of business with this ramp and car in the way.
It really seemed like you knew who Galena Clarkson was.
Well, I've never actually talked to her, but it's a small town. Pretty much all folks know who the Clarksons are, and Galena's supposed to be extra scary compared to the rest of them. Back when we saw her in town, I felt like she was glaring right at me, so I got real scared. No one will come out and say it, but I'm pretty sure they're all relieved that she was the killer. We're lucky the killer ended up being a member of the Clarkson family. Otherwise, the whole town would have turned into a battlefield.
You've got a point, but did everyone really hate her that much?
They didn't hate her. She hated them. She had this real peculiar way of treating people. I don't know how to describe it,
Contemptful?
Yeah, I guess that's it. She never opened up to anyone in town.
She was rich, beautiful, and wanted to become an actress. So she went to a metropolitan city to refine herself. There's always a chance that people like her may develop prejudices towards those who stay in the countryside. A big chance, even. But just because a person has prejudices doesn't mean they'll go out and murder people. That's where my doubt lies. Was there any sort of omen which made people happy that she was the killer instead of someone else?
I'm just telling you how I feel. How am I supposed to know if everyone else in town felt the same way? I never thought she'd actually go and kill her own daughter, though.
There it is, Zach. It appears that her attempt to kill me wasn't simply a case of being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Maybe she was sad.
Sad, perhaps. Instead of returning as a star, she was forced to come home after her dreams were crushed. That certainly sounds like a sad story, doesn't it, Zach?
No, Agent York, not that kind of sad. The kind of sadness that keeps folks away, hidden behind her attitude. Is there a word for that? Maybe it ain't in her attitude or her words, but the way she appears. Yeah, it's in her eyes. They remind me of someone.
Who? P.J. Clarkson?
No, someone else. I can't remember.
That's okay, Patty. Just let me know if you happen to recall it later. Until then, Zach and I will help you think.
So my skateboard right now, I can't use it. It's like, no game, you can't use it.
Hey, Agent York. I feel like someone's in there. Let's go and see.
Huh? What do y'all want? I'm kind of busy here.
Hi there. Are you Emma?
Yeah, who are you?
Francis York Morgan. I'm an FBI special agent. Please call me York. That's what everyone calls me.
Agent York? So, what does the FBI want with little old me? I already told the police everything I know about Lise.
Emma, I haven't come here to talk to you about Lise. Although I suppose it's sort of connected in a way. My darling is broken, and I need you to fix her.
You call your board your darling? I never heard that one before. All right, let me see it. I'll try and assess the damage. I replaced all your trucks, wheels, and gave you some brand new deck tape. Also, you were missing a tail guard, so I put one on for you. That way you should be able to do a few tricks here and there without any risk of damage. Well, what do you think?
It's beautiful, Emma.
The wheels were scraped down and the base plate screws were all about to fall out. Oh, and the axles were also warped. It was pretty much in critical condition. Now, what I want to know is, how did it get that way?
Well, my car was stolen on my way here from Houston. So, I switched over to my darling and rode her here instead.
You know, you're crazier than you look.
Emma, would you mind answering another crazy question for me? I want to use this board to soar, literally. Would you mind teaching me a trick that would allow me to do so?
You mean you want to do a Wally? Ooh, well, I'd be happy to teach you how, but it's too cramped in here. Oh, I know where we should go. You want to learn too? You sure? Seems like you're interested. Whatever. I know you're just gonna come along anyway. So you should at least learn the basics.
Ooh, came just in time. Judy came back just in time. Now you guys can see me how much I suck at
Agent York.
skateboarding.
Now we should have enough room to practice. I'll show you how it's done first, then you just practice till you learn how to do it, okay?
Yeah, go for it. As long as it's not like spam or anything, yeah. I'm terrible at skateboarding. Because in these sections, they don't allow you to hop off the board. You just have to push the L button when you're accelerated just a little bit and he'll automatically do it.
That was perfect!
Yeah. Thank you, Emma. I only learned that new trick thanks to your guidance. Now I'm sure that Zach and I will be able to reach our destination without any trouble at all. Thank you for assisting in the investigation.
Glad to be of service. If your board breaks again, or you feel like customizing it a bit more, just stop on by my workshop. I'm pretty much always there during the day. I'm also taking some time off school because of what happened with Lise. skating and playing music are the only things that help me escape the pain of losing her.
Oh.
Zach, did you see the expression
it's a
on
bit
her face
clunky.
just now? She works hard to act cheerful, but she's yet another person who was hurt by the tragedy. Lisa's death is like wildfire, spreading embers of sadness throughout the entire town.
So now that we've done this, our skateboard will actually wear down over time. And you see how it has 100% here. It has 100% right now. You'll see that slowly tick down the more we use our skateboard. Okay, so let's go back.
Did you notice it yet? The streets in New Orleans were a...
Oops. Push the wrong button. Terrible, that skateboard. But I hit it. Oh no. You go even further back. There we go.
So, what do you think of him? Yes, I'm talking...
Nope. Oh my god, no. Oops. Oh my god. Whoa. Oh, I'm stuck. didn't realize there was an object behind me and I couldn't jump back. Run, Patricia! How's my stamp collecting going? Only 27. Oh, I need to use Wyvern 10 more times and I can complete that other side mission. Gonna upgrade my gun. The aim is terrible. Oh shoot, I should have taken to the picture. Hold on a second.
Were you thinking about Galena too? And all the other women we've seen so far on our trip? You didn't even twitch when you saw Galena's body.
Why would I? Dead things can't hurt us, right?
Girls your age don't usually think that way.
Do you have kids, Agent York?
No, I don't. I'm not married either.
Then you have no idea how girls my age usually think. Besides, I'm used to seeing dead bodies thanks to CSI, especially dismembered corpses like hers. You know, for a so-called profiling professional, you're pretty clueless.
In that case, allow me to apologize. But don't you think it's a bit of a leap to discount my observational abilities simply because corpses don't scare you?
I don't know. I mean, you're completely wrong.
Do you know what I was thinking back there then?
Of course not. I'm not a pro.
The same goes for me, Patty. No manner of pro could ever know 100% of what another person is thinking. Unless, of course, that pro has a mental connection with them, like Zach and I have. If I was telepathic, I wouldn't have joined the FBI. I would have taken over a small country or become a messiah.
Now who's making crazy leaps?
I will admit, though, Patty, I feel like you and I have something in common. We definitely have similarities, even though they aren't as strong as the ones that Zach and I share.
Whatever.
Perhaps you and I grew up under similar circumstances. We're both unique cases.
Huh? Unique cases?
In your case, your beautiful mother's second husband became your daddy. But then your mama got sick, forcing you to take care of things, while you used CSI as your escape.
Would you just knock it off? I ain't trying to act like some tragic heroine here. And I don't care that my daddy isn't the same color as me. You're way more narrow-minded than I took you for, Agent York.
Narrow-minded? You're just realizing this now? Of course I'm narrow-minded. I'm a selfish man who lives life according to his own rules, with no interest in common sense. Naturally, this makes me terrible at reading situations, and I often end up angering people by total accident. But is it really that big of a problem? I've still made a contribution to society by solving numerous difficult cases, and I'm still terribly charming.
Someone thinks high of himself.
And I'm still terribly charming.
You and I have absolutely nothing in common. What kind of circumstances does a kid even need to end up like you?
Try asking Zach. It's not my place to answer that one.
I'm gonna go ahead and talk to Lewis so I can get the album cleared. Just because I'm so
What
paranoid
else have you
about
seen
it.
on that sci-fi movie channel?
Agent York, why are you asking me that?
Discussing movies is one of the most basic forms of communication in our country.
What time period do you live in?
It's always been that way in every era. In this country, all dialogues always begin from films.
Ugh, says who? You're making me sick.
Sick?
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna puke.
I know just what you need to do, Patty.
What?
Tell me what other movies you've seen on that sci-fi channel.
Ugh, you're so annoying. Fine.
Oh, shit!
Patty, what's that?
That tree?
Or we're having a new conversation. No.
Hey, Patty.
What, Agent York?
It's a beautiful day.
Hey, Agent York.
What else have you seen on that sci-fi movie channel?
Agent
Patty, what's that? What else have you seen on that sci... You didn't even twitch when you saw... You didn't even twitch.
God.
You didn't even
Give me
twitch.
the conversation we were having.
Patty, what's that?
That tree?
What else have you seen on that sci-fi movie channel?
Agent York, why are you asking me that?
Discussing movies is one of the most basic forms of communication in our country.
What time period do you live in?
It's always been that way in every era. In this country, all dialogues always begin from films.
Ugh, says who? You're making me sick.
Sick?
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna puke.
I know just what you need to do, Patty.
What?
Tell me what other movies you've seen on that sci-fi channel.
Ugh, you're so annoying. Fine. I saw this one movie where a pretty lady and an old guy fight, and they were both robots.
Ah, Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines. 2003, directed by Jonathan Mostow. I knew you were an Arnold S. fan.
Oh, you said it again. Oh, whatever. I'm not a fan of his or anything, okay? He just happened to be in it.
So, what did you think?
I knew of the name Terminator, but it was my first time seeing one of those movies.
What? You've never seen Terminator?
Well, the first two came out before I was even born.
I know, but come on. It's Terminator.
Boys probably like it, but I'm sure most girls don't give two craps about it. Oh, but I know it was directed by the same person who did Titanic.
Titanic? Oh, you mean Raise the Titanic. 1980, directed by Jerry Jameson. But he didn't direct Terminator. He's famous for Airport 77
Are you
and
fucking
the
with
Deadly
New York?
Tower.
How do you not
You
know
probably know
Titanic?
this already, but the Deadly Tower was based on the 1966 Texas Tower sniper incident. I learned about it at the FBI Academy in Quantico. In the film, Kurt Russell plays Charles Joseph Whitman, the assailant. He really brought the character to life with an awe-inspiring performance. What's wrong, Patty? I'm just trying to talk about Terminator 3, that movie you saw. But you're not paying any attention. So be it. If you're not in the mood to talk, then let's return to the investigation. It's a shame, though. We really wanted to hear more about the films you saw. Didn't we, Zach?
How does he not know Titanic? He's such a movie buff. How does he not know Titanic? James Cameron, 1997. Come on, dude. I am disappointed in your knowledge, York. Leonardo DiCaprio, Kate Winslet. All right, hey, Lewis.
Receiving transmission.
Oh, nice.
Receive it.
You know what else I kind of find of amusing about this game is how York is so short compared to many of the characters. Like PJ, Lewis, Avery, all like tower above him, and he has to look up. We got 60 more to go. Oh, yeah, 60. Ooh. Luckily, I know where almost all of them are off the top of my head. The church. That's near the hotel. That's by the abandoned factory. The crime scene, the bar, by the sugarcane hot spots, I think. Emma, Nina's house, abandoned factory, I think. Sugarcane, trailer. Oh, that's by Avery's trailer. Sheriff Department. Oak Tree Street. And that's by the kind of more higher class houses. By the sugarcane field. By the church. I think that's the post office. Train tracks. Oh, that's the hotspot one. Okay. Cool. Sorry.
Transmission complete. Transmission complete.
Alright, let's go get first one. God, it's so persnickety. Okay. Oh wait, so the gator tours are open till 1, so let's go ahead and use this time to collect fleur-de-lis so I can get this done. Let's go to Avery's trailer. Boom.
What else have you seen on that sci-fi movie channel? Hey, want to talk about bridges? Why? I've become obsessed with bridges, Zach, and there's no turning back now. Remember what we saw on our way here? Back when we were driving that hybrid car before we switched over to the skateboard. We passed over the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway, the longest bridge over water in the...
I believe this is Avery's house. Is it? Let me see. Yep. So I just want to point out something. I don't know if it's like a hint, but like people connected to the case, they all have these like red poppies. Like there's even red poppies near Melvin's. I think there's red poppies on the Clarkson's property as well. It just seems like everybody we meet who has like a direct connection to the case, there's red poppies in their yard. So I'm wondering if that's kind of like a subtle clue. That's by the bridge. Just like with the original game too, if you really do look all over...
Hey, want to talk about bridges? Why?
If you look over Blue Curry, you do spot red trees too. I guess spoiler alert, the red tree is involved obviously, but there's several locations where you can see
time that molten
an
hot
actual
sun
red
pours.
tree growing. And I think it has a similar hint as it did in the first game too.
Hey, Zach. No, nothing.
So keep
Just
your
felt
eyes
like saying
peeled. I don't know how much of a spoiler that really is, but there's several red trees here in this town.
Hey, Zach, it looks like we were right on the money. Tracing the San Rouge distribution route led us right to Louisiana. You know what that means. We've got a hot hand, and Lady Luck's given us far more favor than she ever has.
Oh, there it is. I'm like, I thought it was near the sheriff department. A lot of hours in my initial playthrough were just trying to find these fleur-de-lis. Oh, speaking of which, there was an error in my 100 fleur-de-lis video. I accidentally repeated a clip, so I posted a correction clip over on Deadly Premonition archives. I think it was album 4, number 14. Okay, I guess I should go over to the main street right now, so I can get all those. So this chapter, things get really intense. The story really goes into high gear, I think. Oh, you know what? Suppose just punching the squirrels is easier than shooting them. I'm gonna try that. Oh my god, they're right. No! Who stole it? No! Who stole my first aid kit? I thought I had one of those missions where I did. Oh, it was bees. I thought it was squirrels. Oops. My bad.
Hey, want to talk about bridges? Why?
Oh.
I've become upset.
Oh, hey! According to Amazon, my copy of Deadly Premonition 2, A Blessing in Disguise, has finally shipped. I should be receiving it on the 14th. How nice. Just got an alert. Come on. I've also seen some complaints online about some of the we're gonna get a mission that requires us to have to wait a few days for Alexis Diner to serve us rice and beans. She only serves it on Monday, but as you can see, it's Thursday, so we're gonna have to wait a couple days to get that key item. And I see a lot of complaints online, but you know what? I didn't mind it because I felt like those stretches of days gives players an opportunity to complete side missions that they might not otherwise do. Because one of the things with the original game was people like, oh, I don't have time to complete these side missions. I can't be late, because people didn't realize that time does not matter in that game. You can blow off doing a main mission for days if you want. But I thought it was kind of nice that this time around they actually gave a stretch of a few days for you to go out and explore and complete side missions. But apparently a lot of people think it's a hindrance or annoyance, but I didn't think it was that bad. If you really didn't want to do side missions, you just gotta sleep a couple days in a row.
Okay, hold on.
Oh, I should put the sun. Sunshine.
You ever need anything? You just come on by, Mr. York.
So I'm gonna stream for an extra hour. I usually end the streams at 11, but I'll go till 12 tonight. Given that a lot of this was just cutscenes and stuff. I want to get sunburned. Post office is over here. So again, when you're doing this side mission, it's very important that you make sure you bring up the photo of the fleur-de-lis you're trying to find, because a lot of times that blue exclamation point will not appear unless that is being shown on the side. So just make sure to push down on your directional pad and then shift through your photos until you get to the one you're in the area for.
Hey, Zach. No, nothing. If this town has a symbol, it's got to be that bridge hanging over the bayou. Lift bridges are truly a rarity. Reminds me of Duluth, Minnesota. Remember what happened there? That man went to such great lengths to collect his victims' tongues. You know, the one who would French kiss them every day as they slowly decompose. As I drove him to the station after his arrest, he started lecturing me on the proper way to give someone a kiss. Anyway, back to Duluth. They have a famous lift bridge there called the Aerial Lift Bridge.
Hello, how's it going? Oh, whoa, there's a bunch of little X's in this area. I really do like this game soundtrack. I really hope that they will put out an official soundtrack. I totally get it. It's very mellow.
Hey, Patty.
What, Agent York?
Nothing. Just felt like saying that. This is the Deep South. I feel it every time that molten hot sun pours down on me. Don't you, Zach?
Speaking of red trees, look who has a red tree in their backyard. Yeah, you can tell that York really, really does like Patty. I really do like their relationship and how it develops over time, you know? Come on, it's like at the house. Come on. There we go. Hello, how's it going? Lots of people popping in. Doing alright. I'm just collecting some fleur-de-lis before I move on with the mission. I'm gonna get all of these. Just so I don't have to worry about it glitching out on me. And I know where they all are, so I don't think it's gonna take me that long. Look at this tree. Very ominous. Okay. So now we're gonna move on to the sugarcane ridge. Okay.
Zach, you're a coffee person, right? No sugar, only milk.
We know this, York.
So, what do you think of him? Yes, I'm talking about him. Boondock. Is the skeletal gentleman friend or foe?
I still can't believe he does not know Titanic. For shame, Mr. York. For shame.
Did you notice it yet? The streets in New Orleans.
Oh, yeah, quite a bit. So we had another 2019 segment where I learned, because I guess I missed observing this on my first playthrough, that Zach's upstairs neighbor is David Young Henning, and he's still looking for his wife's killer. And he has no funding from the police department anymore. They don't have any more money to keep at it with the case, which is pretty sad. When we got to 2005, Galena was found cut up in her cell, shaped in, all her body parts were shaped in a V, and according to Patty, who was there, the Clarksons have this thing where they sever the roots, so that was their way of cutting ties with Galena for, I guess, killing her daughter. And then when we were leaving the station, we ran into PJ and Danny. And then we got another oracle, which told us to go basically talk to the guy who found Lisa's body, which is a dude named Chuck who runs the swamp tours. And then the next one was to go to a clinic, which is going to be the church. But right now, and then To get to the swamp tours, York had to perform a skateboard trick. Basically a wally off of a ramp going over a train car, and he ended up breaking his skateboard attempting it. And we met a new character named Emma Sanders, who's the adopted daughter of Tyrone Sanders, the pastor. And she taught us how to do a wally and repaired our skateboard for us. And that's where we're at. You might be right there. You might just be like, I don't want to talk about Titanic. Oh wait, I think I went to the wrong side. Oh shoot. Keep going the wrong side. Yeah, it was very cutscene heavy in the beginning.
Were you thinking about Galena too? And all the other women we've seen so far on our travels across the states? Zach, I'm right, aren't I? This is a vast country. Incredibly vast. And it's mostly composed of mountains, deserts, and farmland, with small towns scattered about here and there. That's how America looks to me. Compared to the scale of this entire country, New York, Chicago, and LA are all microscopic. Sometimes they even... Zach, we're heading toward the Mississippi River, and crossing that river...
Yeah, like the first 2019 portion actually took me an hour to get through. It was quite dialogue heavy. Lots of talk. We learned a lot about Simon and why why he's stuck doing research and not out in the field.
Zach, we're heading toward the Mississippi River, and crossing that river isn't going to help us solve this case.
And we learned that Zach makes such a good cup of coffee and makes someone want to shit, according to Simon.
Zach, you're a coffee person, right? No sugar, only milk. Yes, I'm completely with you.
What about alligator thing you need to do? I need to upgrade my weapon. Okay. Such a terrible shot right now. Yeah, how's everyone else doing?
One lollipop?
Have a
Two
good Sunday?
lollipops? 3 lollipops? Don't mind me, Zach. This is how I wake myself up. This is the Deep South. I feel it every time that molten hot sun pours down on me. Don't you, Zach?
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I am planning to stream until 12 tonight. Since Deadly Premonition. And I'm working from home, so I can sleep in. Oh, come on. Will you pop already? I don't have to look at my video. Okay, one sec. Let me go look at my video. This is 3, number 8. Okay, I was in that area. Why did it not pop? Okay, the second square. I am like in the exact same spot. Why aren't you popping? There we go. Okay, I guess I wasn't in the exact spot. It seemed like I was. Oh, cool. I don't know anything about the game series. I think he'd be a perfect person to watch go through it. Okay, that's the bar, abandoned factory. Oh, drinking. Okay. Is he plans to do Deadly Premonition 2?
This town sure is peaceful, Zach.
I guess
Yes,
it's a
I
silly
know.
question.
I know
Pretty
what
sure
you're
he
about
would.
to say, but that's why we're here. Zach, you're a coffee person, right? No sugar.
The alligator. Please come over here. Oh. Hello.
You again?
Did he just walk out of the scene? I know exactly where it is. It's good? Oh, cool. I can't wait to watch it. Do I need to know the first Forbidden Siren game, or is it safe for me to just watch it? Oops. I have like a free mission right now to defeat an alligator, and it's like, nope, you're not gonna do it. Okay.
Hey, want to talk about bridges? Why? I've become obsessed with bridges, Zach, and there's no turning back now. Remember what we saw on our way here? Back when we were driving that hybrid car before we switched over to the skateboard. We passed over the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway, the longest bridge over water in the entire world. Remember the sudden downpour that made it impossible for us to see the road? The rain was so torrential that we couldn't see more than a few miles ahead of us. I'm sure local drivers are used to that sort of thing. They were all going normal speeds. I'll bet that scene reminded you of a certain film, or perhaps a certain person.
This one's around here. Oh, is it over here?
If this town has a symbol, it's got to be that bridge hanging over the Bible.
Nope. I think he was actually in his car, because sometimes you'll see him like standing in his car, or sometimes floating above his car. He pulls a quint too. You know who else does a Lysander is Chuck, who I haven't met yet, but sometimes the chair he sits on just is gone. Oh yeah, it is terrible.
Hey, Agent York.
Yes?
Is that... Sorry, never mind. I think I was just seeing things.
Hey, want to talk about bridges? Why?
That's exactly right. It's jealous of York's cool hairstyle.
Did you notice?
There's, what's her face? Okay. Should probably go to Raven's house before she leaves. Get the hot spot.
This town sure is peaceful, Zach. Yes, I know. I know what you're about to say. But that's why we're here. To protect this peace. Isn't that right, Zach?
Oh, so hotspot is an area that the fast travel would take you to, but a lot of times you have to...
Zach, how about we grab a bite to eat? Not even I can think straight on an empty
But you'll
stomach.
have to talk to her to get it to unlock, and then I have to go all the way back to the hotel and go through the desk by the door to go to the hotspot. And most of them have a fleur-de-lis to find.
How's the investigation? How's the investigation?
So usually she takes you to a spot on the map that you can't access on your own. Okay, so there's a couple...
Were you thinking about Galena, too? And all the other women we've seen so far on our travels across the states? Zach, I'm right, aren't I? This is a vast country. Incredibly vast. And it's mostly composed of mountains, deserts, and farmland, with small towns scattered about here.
Oh, it's the oak one. Oh, it does. It does look like that. Why? Come on. I'm having a serious brain fart. I thought it was over here. Is it on this side?
If this town has a...
Okay, I'm looking at my video because I'm tired of looking. So, number 4. Oh! It's where the cars are. I'm a dope. Let's go this way.
Zach, you're a coffee person, right? No sugar, only milk. Yes, I'm completely with you on that one.
They're so finicky, I swear. I'm standing. Huh. Standing where I should be. I was. There we go. Okay. I might as well look up 11 while I'm here. I'm actually right by it. So, those who are watching this game for the first time on my playthrough, what are you thinking of the story so far? Are you liking it, or disliking it? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Or, I mean, even those who've completed the game, I'd like to know what you guys think too. Just don't give any spoilers. Okay, so we have Oak Street. Oh, the train tracks. Hotspot. Alright, let's head over to the bar.
Were you thinking about Galena too? And all the other women we've seen so far on our travels across the states? Zach, I'm right, aren't I? This is a vast country. Incredibly vast. And it's mostly composed of mountains, deserts, and farmland, with small towns scattered about here and there. That's how America looks to me. Compared to the scale of this entire country, New York, Chicago, and LA are all microscopic. Sometimes they even feel like figments of my imagination. Think back to what Las Vegas looked like when we were driving up I-15. It was a mirage. But TV and movies dress up those mirages and broadcast them to people all around the world. Meanwhile, American women become fascinated by the gorgeous city lights and are drawn toward those illusions. The very same women who were chosen as prom queens in their small towns.
Next, huh?
In the end, all they find are ghosts. Once their eyes adjust to that blinding light, they realize there's nothing but vanity and lust surrounding them. They finally figure out that it was all in their heads. Then they quickly try to satisfy themselves with something else. Drugs. And drugs are the gateway to a whole pantheon of crime. Zach, remember what you told me once? The women who turn to crime aren't the evil ones. The drugs aren't evil either. They're nothing but chemicals. The ones who feed off those women and use them. They're the ones to hate. Let's go, Zach. We need to find the person who's hiding behind Galena and drag them out into the blazing southern sun.
Oh, I was taking the wrong photo. It is on the side.
Zach, you're a coffee person, right? No sugar. Hey, Zach, it looks like we were right on the money. Tracing the San Rouge distribution route led us right to Louisiana. You know what that means. We've got a hot hand.
It's part of the reason why I felt this game was so hard to put down, because it's just like, oh, there's so much I want to know.
This is the Deep South. I feel it every... Did you notice it yet? The streets in New Orleans were a mess. All busted up and undergoing maintenance. The city was built on a swamp, so the ground is soft. All it takes... One lollipop?
I really hope that one of the other things their patch does will add a talk button to these conversations.
Zach, you're a coffee person, right? No. This is the Deep South. This is the Deep South. Hey, Zach, it looks like we were right on the money. What else have you... This town sure is peaceful, Zach. Yes, I know. I know what you're about to say.
To 8 p.m. So let's go talk to Chuck. Then I'll go get the last fleur-de-lis, which is at a hotspot.
So, what do you think of him? Yes, I'm talking about him. Boondock. Is the skeletal gentleman friend or foe? Or does he merely exist outside the realms of evil? Still too early to tell. But it's clear that he'll be the key to uncovering this case.
I've heard about Hugon so many times already, Gork. Come on.
Hey, Zach, it looks...
Hey, Agent York, are you sure you really want to talk to this guy?
Yeah.
He kind of scares me.
Hattie, there's no need to worry. Just hide behind me and you'll be fine. Chuck Thompson. You were the first person to find Lisa's body, correct? I'm FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan. Please, call me York. That's what everyone calls me.
Agent York. Seems like he ain't in the mood for talking.
Chuck Thompson, may I have a word with you? I'm looking for the one who fired the pistol at Heaven.
You trying to say I gotta aim up to shoot 'cause of my height?
Look at that nose hair.
Not at all. I was merely quoting the skeletal gentleman's oracle.
Skeletal gentleman? You ain't making a lick of sense. What do you all want anyway? What do y'all come here to waste my precious time for?
I'm currently running a race around town thanks to you, who fired the starting shot. The murderer and I are competing to see who can cross the finish line first. Unfortunately, the murderer got a generous head start on me. If he gets away from me, I'll lose. But if I can catch up to him, then I'm sure I'll win. So please, Chuck, tell me, how did you find Lisa's body? Her body was hidden under a bridge on the bayou, very close to the Mississippi River. It's got to be at least a few miles away from your farm in this swamp, right?
Oh, the Clarksons are the folks who gave me the damn permission to find crawdaddies here in the first place. Now why the hell would I ever want to kill that little girl?
Then what were you doing out there?
You know, lately I've been seeing a queer boat around these parts. It ain't too big. Probably only holds 5 or 6, and it's got a deep draft. Assholes think they can just drive right through my turf, right through my dang crawdad farm.
So you gave chase, which led you to Lisa's body?
Yeah, that's right. Fucking poachers.
Where did the poachers go?
Oh, hell if I know. Fog was thick that day, thicker than usual. So I lose sight of them. The next thing I know, I'm under that goddamn bridge. Then I felt a chill run up my spine. And I knew. So I drove up to the bank and got out. And there she was, strung up on that there altar.
Did you know Lise personally?
Yeah, I knew her a little. She never showed me no disrespect, unlike the rest of those damn Clarksons. They so rotten I can smell it from here, same as the shit at the bottom of this here swamp. Heavy. Yeah. They was a little better when their boy Lenny was still around.
Lenny?
Yeah, Leonard, PJ's son. He never showed me no disrespect neither. And he's the one who gave me permission to farm here.
Button. Just playing like normal.
But, well, ever since he left home, his whole family's gone straight down the shitter. Lisa was the only decent one left. She was wise, just like Lenny. Ain't right, I tell you. Heavy. Now I'm done talking, goddammit. Now go on, get the hell out of here.
5 or 6 what?
Philip mentioned something about his son leaving home. That must be Lenny. Did you know about that, Patty?
Everyone in town knows about it.
By the way, Zach, do you remember what we saw when we were skipping stones? That boat with the dragonfly crest. Zach, no matter where we go in this town, we're constantly assaulted by information related to the Clarkson family. Just where is that skeletal gentleman trying to lead us? We successfully found the one who fired the pistol at Heaven. Now we need to visit the White Hall of Beds.
Holds 5 to 6, I think, people inside?
You know, Zach, it almost feels like we're orienteering here. Doesn't it remind you of our training in Quantico?
Wow, let's look at this. Dude, you need to stand over here so I can take a boat ride. Come on.
Looks like a case of bad timing, Zach. Let's come back late.
Are you not gonna go stand over there? Because I won't be able to. Okay, I'll try tomorrow.
How's the investigation coming? Must be going well if you're on the case.
I don't know why the hotspots are labeled like they are. They skip numbers. Damn, York. Bye. Gonna use you in a second to go to the graveyard. So once I finish this little side mission, I'm going to end for tonight, and I will continue episode 2 tomorrow. Ooh, I get hit by a car. Boom! How many car hits am I up to? Ooh, 10 away from a new suit. It's the car one. Ugh, this is so frustrating. Oh, 8 times. Okay. Yeah, we'll probably run into her. We're gonna run into her tomorrow night. Once I go to the church. Hi. You came just in time to see my stream end. Just closing out a side mission. I should go talk to to Avery as well, so I can start his side mission.
Receiving transmission.
We're at episode 2. Maybe a quarter of the way through episode 2. Yeah, a lot of the beginning was just like the 2019 portion. It was like an hour of the stream by itself. And I just completed the first oracle, part of the oracle that was given to me. Ooh, I need that for sure. Let me go talk to Avery. Oh shoot! I need to get the album from him.
Ray.
Okay, now let's go to Avery real fast. And, wait. There you go. So Avery, his side mission here, is basically an Otherworld replay, and when I complete both of his side missions, I think it's both, or maybe just one, I will get the third ingredient I need for Alexis's dish.
Smarty
and
pants.
Then once I get that,
what you want?
I'll the side mission with the chef from the hotel will open up as well. So a lot of these side missions, you do have to go and search for them. You'll talk to people multiple times when you complete different side missions just to see what you can open up. There's no real clear list that I have found anywhere within the game. So a lot of these I just kind of found on accident while I was exploring the town. Which is a shame, because a lot of people end up not doing very many side missions. Because they kind of make it a little bit harder than they did with Deadly Premonition 1. But hopefully, sooner than later, I'll have like a list and time frames on where, like, a list of all the side missions and where you can complete them and stuff. But I still need to find them all. Oh, so there's 2. Wait, I think he has more than 2 side missions. One involves going to back to the other world to defeat shadows, and then at where you did the boss fight, there's an item you have to collect. So maybe he has 3 side missions total. Now I'm thinking about it. Shoot, I can't remember. So the next one he gives us is, was this side mission 39? Okay, so maybe I don't need to do the other world then. That might be another prize. For some reason I thought 39 was returning to the other world. So he has like 3. And if 2 of them involves going back to another world. Alright, so I will go ahead and stop it here for now. We'll pick it up tomorrow night at 8:30 my time.
1 lollipop? 2 lollipops? 3 lollipops? Don't mind me, Zach. This is how I wake myself up.
Here. Shoot, where's the phone? One by the... Yay! Okay, so I will continue this tomorrow night. Thank you everyone for hanging out with me for so long, and I hope you're enjoying the game so far, even with me spending all this time doing side missions. But, yeah, so I hope you guys have a great Monday, and I'll speak to you all again real soon. And the archive of this should be up on the YouTube channel sometime tomorrow. Alright, guys, talk to you tomorrow.